Hi, I'm Karen Dubbs with Flexible Warrior Yoga Health and Wellness. Today we're going to do a 10-minute post-run stretch sequence to help you open up your tight hips, hamstrings, inner thighs, quads, and calves. All right, so let's go ahead and start in child's pose. So if you're fresh from a run, this is the best time to stretch. Go ahead and sit your hips back onto your heels, knees out wide, so as wide as they will comfortably go. And fingertips slide out in front of you, forehead drops to the mat. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Just take this time out to stretch and recover. Exhale, relax your shoulders, face, neck, and jaw. Shift your weight forward. You want to align your knees out under your hips, curl your toes. Let's come into downward facing dog. So you want to curl your toes under, and since your hamstrings are likely tight, you want to bend your left knee and drop your right heel so you get a good stretch to your calf and ankle on that right side. Switch, bend the right knee, drop the left heel. Really get a good stretch to that left calf ankle, and then continue to pedal right and left. Do that one more time on each side, right and left. And then release your knees down to the mat. Now if your knees are sensitive, you can slide a towel or something underneath your knees so you get a little extra padding. Otherwise, just go ahead and step your right foot forward so that your knee is right out over your ankle. We're going to come up to a low lunge. So we're going to be stretching this hip flexor quad on the back leg. So drop the hips as low as you can. Again, if your back knee is sensitive, slide a towel or be on a carpeted surface, something to give you a little bit more cushioning. All right, for some of you, this might be plenty of a stretch. For others, you can reach your hands up high. You're going to grab onto your left wrist with your right hand and stretch over to the side, so you're creating even more space in this hip flexor. And you want to breathe deeply in and out through your nose. And let's take 3 more breaths here. Just get a good stretch. As you exhale, if you want to go a little bit deeper, please do so, but don't force it. And then bring it all the way back to center. Bring your hands on either side of this front foot. We're going to pull back for a runner's lunge. So you want to pull your hips backwards and straighten this front leg as much as is comfortable for you. So if your hamstrings are really tight, you're going to need to keep a bend in that knee. It is all good. As long as you're feeling a stretch, that is all that matters. If you want to feel a deeper stretch, you have a couple options. You can slide this heel a little bit more forward, right? You can also think about pulling your tailbone and your hips back and pulling your chest forward and up. That's going to extend your spine a little bit more and increase the stretch in your hamstring. So let's take 2 more breaths here. Just really try to open up the back side of that leg. This is one of my favorite stretches. And then go ahead and release. You're going to curl your back toes under, squeeze your back knee really straight, and sink your hips down low. Your fingertips are plugged into your mat, and you're lifting and opening your chest. So in other words, you don't want to round your spine, you want to lift and open your chest. All right, we're going to pivot to the side so that you can get a groin inner thigh stretch. So when you walk to the side, you're going to bend your left knee so that your right leg is straight. Now for many of you, I'll pivot to the side here so you can see. For many of you, you're going to want to keep your fingertips on the mat or on the floor. You're going to feel the stretch right here, groin inner thigh, right? Let's take a couple more breaths, and if you feel really comfortable, no problem, you can go ahead and release and bring yourself into a balanced position. But again, for many of you, just keeping your fingertips down, all good, especially if you just did a long run. Take 1 more breath, and then you're going to go ahead and walk around to the front of your mat. So you come back from where you came, and your fingertips are on either side of that front foot. You're going to step to a top of a push-up, or otherwise known as plank. So step your front foot back, spread your fingertips out wide, pull your belly in and up, work your core strength here a little bit. You can certainly bend your knees to the mat if you want to. Otherwise, with straight legs, lower all the way down. Now, you're going to bend your left forearm out in front of you, reach back, grab the top of your right foot with your right hand. You can relax your forehead down so it's resting on your hands. And this is a great quad stretch. You just want to kick your foot a little bit into your hand so you feel that nice stretch in front of your thigh and attaching up to your hip flexor. If you want a deeper stretch, you're going to squeeze your glutes and press your hips into your mat. Let's take 1 more nice deep breath in and out through your nose. And then release that foot down. Now slide your hands under your shoulders, point both toes, and press into a cobra, which is just such a great stretch for your back. Be aware that you don't want your shoulders hiking up to your ears. You want them down and away from your ears and hugging the elbows into the ribcage. Really spread your fingertips out wide and press down through your hands. Release down, and we're going to start again. So beginning in child's pose. So you just push through your hands and sit your hips back onto your heels. Forehead rests down onto your mat. Take a deep breath. Exhale completely. And then go ahead and shift forward. Step your left foot up and through your hands. Hips down really low, fingertips plugged in. And then again, if you needed to slide a towel underneath your back knee, feel free to do that. Otherwise, just go ahead and bring yourself up. Now your hands can stay right here on this front thigh, or you can reach them up to the sky. Grab onto your wrist. So you're going to stretch over to the side away from the leg that's extended behind you, so you get a deeper stretch through that hip flexor quad. I'm sure you're feeling it. I know I am. Let's take 3 more breaths here. And remember, 10 minutes a day is all you're really looking for. Consistency, 10 minutes after your run, that's all you really need to do. It doesn't have to be an hour or even a half an hour. Just 10 minutes consistently makes a huge difference. So good for you for carving out time to stretch and recover. Come back to center. Let's come into that runner's lunge. So fingertips on either side of your front foot. Take a deep breath in through your nose, and then pull your hips backwards. And again, think about extending your spine. So just notice right here, are you rounding your spine a lot? You want to pull your hips back and lift up through your chest. So you're extending your spine more and really lifting and opening the posture, which is going to deepen the stretch and also going to strengthen the muscles along your back. Take 2 more deep breaths in and out through your nose. And if you want to go deeper, remember you can slide that foot a little more forward, come into a split position, or you can pull your hips further back. Think of pulling your tailbone or lifting your tailbone up to the ceiling or up to the sky. Excellent work. Go ahead and shift your weight forward, hands on either side of your front foot. You're going to curl your back toes under, squeeze your back leg straight, and then pivot to the side for that side lunge position. So you're going to bend your knee, and again, I'll turn to the side so you can see. You're pivoting and bending. You'll be up on the ball of this foot, fingertips plugged in. You'll feel that nice stretch through the inner thigh and groin. Now you're welcome to stay right here, or if you want to work on some balance, and you maybe took more of a short run today and are not worried about your feet or your strength or your balance, then go ahead and work on your balance. If this is a struggle too much for you, just keep your fingertips down. Take 1 more breath. And then you're going to walk around towards your front foot. So we're back in this lunge position. Stepping to plank, so front foot steps to the back foot. Pull your belly in and up, really press the pads of your hands. Core strength is so important for runners as well. Take a deep breath in, really squeeze the belly. And then you can bend your knees if you like to modify. Otherwise, with straight legs, go ahead and lower to your mat nice and slow. And then right forearm comes out in front of you. Left foot, left knee bends, and left foot comes into your left hand. So you can rest your forehead down onto your forearm. And then really kick your foot into your hand so that you're deepening the stretch. You can also squeeze your glutes and press your hips into the mat. Take 2 more breaths here. And release it down. Now slide your hands under your shoulders, press into your cobra, and hold this for 3 breaths. So you're holding the pose, but you're breathing throughout. Slide your shoulders down. Train your chest and your heart to be open. This is so important for runners as well. You want to lead with your chest and keep your posture aligned. Go ahead and release down. Now I'm going to give you the option to come into full bow next. So we did the half bow variation with 1 foot on each side. For those of you who want to give it a try, you can reach back and grab the tops of both feet into your hands. If that's not comfortable for you, then modify and do 1 leg at a time. Otherwise, kicking the tops of your feet into your hands, you can think about lifting your toes up to the ceiling or towards the sky so your knees come away from the mat. This is such a great stretch to open the whole front line of the body. Take 1 more breath and release out of it. Pressing back to child's pose to counter pose. and stretch your low back. Forehead drops down. Deep breath in and out through your nose, releasing tension. And then go ahead and come up to your hands and knees. You're going to curl your toes, come into one more downward facing dog. Pressing back. Drop the weight of your head, bend your left knee, drop your right heel, get that good stretch to your calf ankle, and switch sides. Keep pedaling it out right and left. And then release your knees to the mat. Swing your feet out and around in front of you and have a seat. Good. Last little thing we're going to do is a hip stretch. So let's just start with your right shin out in front of your left. Hands out in front of you. And then you walk yourself forward. So this is a seated hip stretch. Some of you are going to be great right here with your right shin out in front of your left. Perfect way to modify and make it a little bit easier. If you are a little bit more open, what I'm going to encourage you to do is bring your right shin on top of your left shin so that your knees are aligned and you have sort of a triangle shape. That's going to deepen your hip stretch. Either way, it is all good as long as you're feeling the stretch. That's what's mattering the most, and as long as you're honoring and listening to your body. Okay, if you feel like you can go a little bit deeper, walk your hands a little more forward, drop the weight of your head down, bring your chin to your chest, and breathe as deeply as you can, like you're trying to send the breath all the way down to your hips. Last breath in and out through your nose. Soften your shoulders, soften your elbows. And then bring yourself up. You're just going to bring your hands out behind you, uncross your legs, feet flat, and you're just going to rock your hips from right to left so your knee is coming towards your heel. And we will, of course, get the other side. So go ahead and recross the legs so that the left shin is out in front of the right. Stay right there if that feels good for you, walking your hands forward, or take that modification where you're lining up your shins so that they're on top of each other and your ankles are over your knees. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, walk your hands forward to whatever degree feels good for you. So you're feeling a stretch, but you're not fighting, you're not struggling. Allowing your body to recover. Take 3 more breaths in and out through your nose and see if you can go just a little bit deeper as you exhale. See if you can let go of a little bit more tension. Take 1 more breath. Breathe in as deep as you can. Again, try to send that breath all the way down to your hips. Just imagine if you could. Exhale completely, relax the tension a little bit more. And then go ahead and come slowly up, uncross your legs, feet flat, and rock it from side to side. Don't you feel so much better? A quick 10-minute timeout makes a huge difference, right? So you're going to do that consistently and you're going to have the best race season possible. Go ahead and cross your legs. Hands to heart center. Take a huge breath in. Reach for the sky. Why wouldn't you? And then exhale, hands back to your heart center. Thank you so much for joining me. Again, my name's Karen Dubbs, Flexible Warrior, Yoga, Health, and Wellness. You can visit my website at flexiblewarrior.com on the events page, and I run programs and I train people one-on-one, so reach out to me if you want a little support with your recovery or your nutrition to help you have the best race season possible. Namaste.